about web app hosting on AWS EC2 instance. And here we are going to use VPC, EC2, and MySQL RDS. So that's a little brief about myself. So I'm a solution architect DBA with 16 years of relevant experience in development, DBA, and AWS cloud. I have experience with multiple RDS and NoSQL databases, and these are some of my industry-wide certifications. So this is how the project diagram looks like. So first, we're going to create a VPC, and then we are going to create a couple of public subnets and private subnets, and then a route table on each for each of these publics and private subnet. Then we're going to create an internet gateway on the public subnet and attach it to the route table of the one of the public subnet. Then we're going to create a NAT gateway on the public subnet and attach it to the route table, private route table of the private subnet. And then we're going to create a, attach a elastic IP to the NAT gateway. Now coming to the RDS, so this completes our VPC. Now next moving on to the RDS. So RDS, we're going to create it on the private subnet because we don't want our database to be exposed to the internet. And then we're going to create our web server EC2 instance on the public subnet of my VPC. Okay, so that's how the project diagram looks like. Now let's go to the the browser and then see. Okay, so this is the web page. Sorry, this is the documentation that we are going to follow. Install a web server on our EC2 instance, Amazon. This one. So this is my AWS console. So as of now, you can see there are no EC2 instances running. So let me go to the first to the VPC part and try to create a my own VPC. So let me create here VPC. Now here I'm going to give it as a name as VPC only, and here I'm going to give my VPC1. Let me select the CIDR block. So as I told you, my CIDR block is going to be 10.0.0.26 because I want 4 subnets. So 64 hosts divided by 4, each subnet having 16 hosts. Tenancy, I'm going to keep it at default. Now, if you click on dedicate, then you need to create your EC2 instance on the dedicate host. So as of now, I'm going to keep the tenancy at default. So let me review it once more. VPC, okay, 26, okay. So as you can see here, my VPC is created and these are the CIDR block. Now let me go to the subnet. So don't worry about these. These are the default subnets of the default VPC. I'm going to create my own. So I have to select my VPC. Here I will give public SB1. Preference I will give it as 1A because I'm creating in Mumbai region. So I'll give it as 1A. And this is the main CIDR block. And here I'm going to create it as 10.0.0.0/28. Okay. Now 0.26, you can see here it gives me the 16 IP addresses. I'm going to attach one more public subnet, my name public SB2. I'm going to create it on 1B, and here I'm going to give 10.0.0.16/28. Now why 16? Because it's going to give me the next 16 IP address, okay, from this one, from /26. So this is my public SB2, this is my public SB1, and one is on 1A, another is on 1B. Okay, so let me create it here. Both are on this. Okay, my VPC1. Fine. So let me create the subnets. So as you can see here, so let me give SB. 2 public subnets are created. Now let me go ahead and create 2 private subnets. So again, I'm going to select my VPC. Here, private SB1, I'm going to give it 1A. Here I'm going to give 10.0.0.32/28 is going to give me the next 16 IP address. I'm going to add another one, private SB2 1B. Here I'm going to give 10.0.0.48/28. It's going to give me the next 16 IP address. Okay, so let me review it. So my VPC, private SB1, 1A, 32, and this private SB2. Okay, so create the subnets. Okay, now if you see here SB, you can see here I have two subnets. One is a private subnet, two private subnets, and two public subnets. Now see how AWS will identify whether a particular subnet is a public or a private subnet. It is through the route table. Okay, so let me go to the route tables. Now I already have one main route table which is attached to my VPC. You can see here. So I'm going to simply rename this. Okay, and I will give it as public RT. Okay, and then I'm going to do the subnet association. So I need to edit it, and here I will add two public subnets. So you can see here two public subnets are attached. If you see here, click on this, and if you go to the subnet association, you see two public subnets is attached to the public route table. Okay, now I have to create another route table, which I will give it as private route table. Select a VPC, my VPC. Okay, and then I'm going to associate the private route tables. Sorry, the subnets with that. So save me the association, and you can see here. If I go to the route tables, you can see two route tables are there. Let me click on RT. Okay, you can see here. So this one, if you see here the subnets, these are the private subnets for the private route table, and for public route table, these two are the public subnets. Now we need to create two more things. We need to create internet gateways and NAT gateways. So let me click on internet gateway, create an internet gateway, my IGW, I will give it the name, create it. Now this internet gateway is created. Now I need to attach it. So on the left side, right side, you can see attached to a VPC. Click on attach and then click on my VPC. Attach this one. This internet gateway is attached to my VPC. Now what I need to do, I need to attach this my internet gateway, okay, to my route table, public route table, so that there will be a internet can be accessed to that particular whatever the resources that are created. Let's say EC2 instance going forward, I'm going to create it. So I can access the web server through the internet. So what I will do, I will go to my private route table. On the left side, you click on the route tables, then on the private route table, I'm going to click. Now here you see the routes, click on the routes, click on edit routes, add the route, you give here the IP address 000, and then here you click on internet gateway and it will pop up my internet gateway. So simply save the changes. Now I can tell successfully that uh, the public subnets are my actual public subnets because I have attached the internet gateway to that. Now go to the NAT gateways, click on the left side, create a NAT gateway. You will give NAT my NAT, create a subnet. So I will create it on the public subnet. As I told you, NAT gateway will be created on the public subnet. So I will create it on the public subnet. Let's say I will choose public SB1, and then I will allocate an IP address. Okay, allocate elastic IP and create the NAT gateway. So once the NAT gateway is created, now you need to attach this NAT gateway, my NAT, to your private route table. So go to the route table on the left side. You can see a private, click on the private route table, go to the routes, click on edit routes here, add the route here, the address, NAT gateway, you click, it will show up this NAT and then save the changes here. Okay, now my VPC part is completed. Okay, let me review it once more. Let me go to the VPC dashboard. So this is my VPC. Okay, so this is the CADR which will host 64 IP addresses. Now subnets, if you see here, I have 4 subnets, 2 private, 2 public, which are attached to my VPC. Now again, if I'm coming to the route tables, I have 2 route tables, one public which have the subnet of 2 public subnets, and then I have also one private route table which had the subnets of the 2 private. Now what I have done on the public, I have attached the internet gateway so that there will be a inter traffic flowing from the internet. Okay, and then to the private, I have only attached the NAT gateway. The reason of attaching a NAT gateway to the private, because going forward, I'm going to create an RDS instance which will be hosted on my private subnets. And in case if I want to download any patches within the database, then I need the NAT gateway to download the patches from the internet. So there will be only outbound traffic. Okay, not inbound traffic. Internet, there won't be any internet inbound traffic. Now my VPC part is done. So now let me go to the RDS, click on the RDS part. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create an RDS, MySQL RDS instance on the private subnet. Okay. So as if now you can see there are no DB instances. So first thing I need to create a DB subnet group. So click on the DB subnet group, create a DB subnet group. You give it as, DB subnet group. Okay. Choose a VPC. So I want it under my VPC, add a subnet. So here I will select both. Okay. And then here I'm going to select the, I think it's going to be this one and it's going to be this one. Okay. These are the 2 subnets. So let me confirm once again, what are the subnets for my private. You can see here, 47C and 9A9. Okay. So yeah, 47C and 9A9. Okay. So these are the 2 private subnets that I have selected. Click on create. Your request has failed. Must be provided. Okay. Something I'm missing here. My group. Okay. Must be the parameter subnet group description. Okay. So it wants me to provide the description. This is my DB subnet group. Okay. Okay. So this, you can see my subnet group is created, my subgroup. Okay. Which is under this VPC, which is my VPC, and under the private subnets. Now I'm going to go to the RDS. You can see here, let me refresh. No DB instances. Click on the DB instances. I'm going to go ahead and create the DB instance. Choose a standard create, and here I'm going to use the MySQL engine. Okay. And then the latest MySQL version, let me go and check on 8.0.34. I'm going to go ahead just for this demo purpose. I'm going to click on the free tier one, and then I will give it as my RDS. Okay. The username will be admin. Okay. So if you want, you can change the username, but I will keep it as admin only. And then I will give the password. So remember this password, 12345 business 12345. Okay. So this is the business password. And then click on db3 micro, keep it as db.t3.micro, and storage would be appropriate. Don't enable the auto scaling as if now, because just for demo we are using it. Now here this part is very important. I will select my VPC here, and then the subnet group will automatically be selected. I don't want to give public access, so make it no. And then create a new, it is asking for a new VPC subnet group. Okay, so I will give it as my SG1. Okay, and no preferences as of now. So I'll create a new security group. Security group basically is needed to access your RDS from your EC2 instance. Okay. So that is why I will create a new security group, MySGA1. Okay. RDS proxy additional, make sure the port is 3306, or you can give any other port, but the default port for MySQL is 3306. It is password authentication. Okay. Then rest all things. So make sure to revisit it once more just to check you're not missing anything. Connectivity, my VPC and my subnet group, my SG1. Okay, done. So let's go ahead and create the database. It's going to take some time, for the database to be created. So let's wait. So close this. So you can see here, my RDS instance is currently in progress. So once this is done, so this will complete our step 2. Now the step 3 is the EC2 instance creation. So meantime, this is creating. So what we can do, we can go to we can create the EC2 instance. So let me go to the EC2 instance. Or should we wait for this one? Okay. So EC2 instance, what we can do, as if now you can see here, click on the EC2 instance, nothing is running. What we can do, we can go to on the left side and we can click on AMI catalog. Now this EC2 instance is required basically to create the web server, PHP web server. So I'll click on free tier, check on the Linux one. I'm going to use the Amazon Linux AMI, okay, 64-bit. So select this and then launch and remain in old one. Give the name is my web server 1. T2 micro would be enough. So you can generate a key pair. So existing one, I'm going to use it, which is going to be Naveed 1, which I already created, or else you can create on the create new key pair and you can create a PEM file. Now this part is very important, the network settings. So by default, it will select the default VPC, which we don't want. So click on the edit and go to the my VPC. And here, don't select the private one, go and select the public one. So I'm going to create it on the public SB1. Auto assign, enable it, auto assign public IP as well. Make sure you enable it. And here, select the existing group. So I'm going to use the MySG1, which I created with the RDS. And rest all configuration is okay, not required. Go ahead and launch the instance. Click on the instance and let's say this one. Okay. So my web server 1. Let's see what's the status of RDS instance. So RDS instance still under creation. Okay, now you can see here it is web server is running. So you can see here public IP address has been generated. Okay. And if you go here on the security group, you can see this. So we need to make some changes on the security group. Okay. So click on this security group, MySG1. Okay. It will, and go to the inbound traffic. You see the inbound traffic. Okay. Go to the inbound traffic, edit the inbound rules. You can see here by RDS, it is the port is 3306. Okay. So we want, if you want, you can give it at 00, but generally I would give the IP address. Okay. The private IP address of the EC2 instance. Okay. And then I will give this one. Then I will add 2 more ports. So first port for the SSH. So SSH, let's say I will give it as this one. And then I will give HTTP for accessing. And then this will also I will get as 00. Okay, so what I have done, I have went to the security group of the EC2 instance, and then I, made the changes here. I want my RDS instance to be accessed only through the private IP address of my EC2 instance. So that's the reason I've given here. And then for SSH and HTTP, I have given it from anywhere. It should be accessible. Now save the rules. Okay, so you can see here. Click here. You see the 3 inbound rules. Okay. Okay. Now let me copy this public IP address and let me see if I will be able to. Okay, so let me. Okay, let me share again my screen. And so this is my mobile extern. This is my putty client, okay, which I will be using. So what I can do here, I go to the SSH session, click on the session. You have reached the maximum session. Okay, so let me delete this. So let me click on the session, click on SSH. I'll copy the public IP of my EC2 instance, specify username. The default username will be EC2-user. And then what I need to give, I need to give my advanced, go to the advanced SSH setting, use private key, whatever the key pair that I have generated. So naveed1.pem, open it, click OK. So I am able to log in. You can see. So you can see here the host name. It is compute.ip, this one. Okay. So it is giving me the private. Okay. Okay. It is giving me the private. So what I have to do, I have to go to the again to the VPC. I forgot one thing. I need to go to my VPC1 actions, edit VPC settings. Here I need to make sure enable DNS resolution and DNS hostname is done. So click me and save it. Okay. Dismiss and then okay, I'm able to log in. Now let me do some commands. Sudo yum update -y. So let me update my EC2 instance. Okay, nothing to update. Now next, what I'm going to do it, I'm going to install. Okay, so let me share one more screen for you guys. Just hold on. So let me stop share. Okay, so this is my commands. So first what I did a sudo yum update. Now I'm going to install the PHP. Okay, the PHP part. So let me copy this. And then let me go to my EC2 instance. Oh, sorry, my this one mobile extern. So it is telling these 3 PHP versions are available, 8.0, 8.1 and 8.2. So let me enable and install 8.0. Okay. So I'll go and enable the 8.01. Now all these commands you will find it in the documentation that I have shown you, right? So this is the documentation. You will find all the commands here. Okay. Okay, it's done. Now what I have to do, it's enable. Now what is telling, now you can install within these two commands, yum clean metadata and yum install this. Okay, so this is what I have written here, yum clean metadata. Okay, and then I'll give this command. So let's wait for it to install. Meantime, let's check what's the status of RDS. Okay, so RDS instance is created. You can see here, if you click on RDS instance, you see here. So this is my endpoint and this is the security group. And then these are the two private subnet, which is on my private VPC. Fine, good. Okay, so let's wait for PHP to install. Okay, so once PHP is installed, you can check the PHP version -v. You can see here 8.0 is the latest PHP version. Okay, now what we need to do? We need to install this Apache HTTP server. So these are the 3 commands. I copy and paste it here. Okay, this is done. Now let me enable it. First start it and then enable it. and then I'm going to enable it. Okay. Now let's check if we are able to, Apache launch Apache from my browser. Okay. So what I need to do, I need to do HTTP. Okay. So what I will do, I will go to my EC2 instance, and here you see this one. Copy this public IPv4 DNS copy. Go to your HTTP and then give this one. Now you can see I'm able to get the test page. It means my Apache is perfectly, working fine. Okay, now what I need to do? Now there are a couple of these commands I need to do. So let me go to the browser. You can see here. So this part is done where I've enabled it. Now what I have to do, I have to set some file permission for the Apache web server. Okay, so these are the commands I need to execute. Okay, so let me execute first, or else I will copy it from here. So let me execute this, clear it. Then exit it. Then again, you see here, press R to restart the session. Okay, so press me R. Okay, again, I'm able to log in, clear the screen little bit, and then I need to check the groups. Okay, groups. Okay, next is I need to copy this. It will give me, output like this, which I'm able to get it here. And then this command, and then change the file directory permission. Okay, copy this command. Okay, and then again this command. Okay, recursively change. Okay, so this part is done. Now what I have to do, I have to go to the connect my Apache web server to my RDS instance. Okay, now before that I need to check whether I'm able from my EC2 instance, am I able to connect to my RDS instance? So first I will install something telnet for that. Okay, so sudo yum telnet -y. Oh, sorry, I need to go install. So let me install the telnet, and then how I'm going to check it. Give telnet, give the endpoint of my RDS instance. So I'm going to find my RDS instance endpoint here. So what you have to do, you have to go to your RDS instance, go to the DB2 instance, click on the DB identifier of your RDS, and here in the connectivity and security section, you will see the endpoint. So copy this endpoint. Copy this endpoint and give the port 3306. Yes, you can see here I'm able to connect. So you can see here connected to my RDS instance. So the communication is happening from my EC2 instance to RDS. Now, how is it happening? As I told you, it is happening through the security port through this particular port 3306, and this is the IP address. So only from my this IP address, which is the public private IP address of my EC2 instance, I am able to reach to my RDS instance. Okay, so this part is done. Now what I have to do, I need to create a sample database in MySQL. So let me first install MySQL client here. So sudo yum install MySQL -y. Okay. Now what I have to do, MySQL, this is how -h, and give me the endpoint. Okay, sorry. So again, I need to go to my RDS instance and get the endpoint. So this is my RDS instance endpoint, copy it. Sorry. And then give -u admin and give -p. -u means username. So the RDS username is admin. You can find it, you can check it here. If you go to the configuration section, you will see here master username. So this is the admin, and the password you need to remember. So let me give the password. Okay. Now if you go and type the command show databases, So there are 4 default databases. Now let me create a sample databases, create database, sample, and again let me give show databases. So I have got one sample databases. Okay, fine. So let me exit this. Now what I have to do, as I told you, I have to go to this. Okay, cd this. So let me copy this command. Okay, so right now I'm inside this directory where wwinc, and here what I need to do, I need to create a, now here first I need to create a file dbinfo.inc using vi editor, but here I need to change the, the need to give my correct endpoint of my RDS. So I'll go here, copy this one. Let me copy this, and so okay, rest all thing is fine. Okay, so vi dbc, and here, so this is my PHP file. Okay, so PHP and then escape shift colon WQ. It will save the file. Okay, and then you can cat and see db info.inc. You can see these are the details. Okay, now you can see here the server name, data RDS, the username, the password, and the DB database sample which I just created. Okay, so using VI editor, I have done this. Now what I have to do? I have to again go to, if you go to the this one, this is exactly what I have done here, and this is what I have done. Now go to cd var www.html, copy this. Okay, now I have to create a sample. Okay, sample.php. So what I will do, vi sample.php. Now here escape I, if you give, when you give escape I, it will go into a insert mode. Now I have to copy all these things. Now you can see here, copy this. It's a big file, and then now I will give escape upper arrow. It will go at the top, and here I have to give the complete path. Okay, my complete path was /var/www. Okay, /inc/db. Okay, so you can check here /var/wwinc and this. Okay, so if you want, you can check it like this: ls-ltr /var/www/inc db info.inc. Okay, so this is done. Once this is done, okay, now let me launch the sample page from the browser. Okay, so again, so I just need to give this. So let me go here to my EC2 instance, copy this. Okay, let me make the changes here only. Okay, and then sample.php. So I'll go to the browser. Okay, so let me go to the browser and let me see if I'm able to launch this or not. Yep, I'm able to launch. Now I'm going to show you one thing. Okay, let me go to my connect to my RDS instance. Okay, from here. So if I go here, so this is my RDS instance. So let me connect here and let me give the password. Now, okay, show databases. Okay, now if you see here, select show tables. So there is a tables that is got created from sample. Now if I give here select star from sample dot employee, now you will see there is, it doesn't contain any rows as if now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to input the rows from here. So let me give my name here. The name is Naveed and the address I will give it as Bangalore. Now if I give here add address, you can see here one Naveed Bangalore. Now if I give here again the same thing, select star from sample. Now this, name got inserted. I can give another name. Let me give it as Zia, and let me give as St. Louis. You can see here St. Louis inserted. Again, if I go and check, you can see here Naveed and Zia. So this signifies that I am able to, I have created a very small PHP, web page through which I'm entering some information, and successfully it is getting inserted into my RDS, MySQL RDS instance. So that's all. Thank you.